Hello again from the Pinpoint Weather Center. Meteorologist J.D. Rudd here with you on KSN TV, also live streaming on KSN.com as we watch the line of showers and thunderstorms that we have going on in portions of western Kansas here tonight. A little bit of good news. The activity that we had earlier in the far northwest part of the state has really come to an end. We continue right now with one very strong cell, which is just around the Hayes area in Ellis County, and then we have a few more cells down to the south, which are not as strong, but may be producing around some quarter to golf ball size hail. The biggest storm that we have right now is obviously this one here in Ellis County. A new tornado warning has been issued for this storm, which will now go out for the next little while. I believe that one is set to expire coming up at around 7:30 tonight, according to the Weather Service. And again, this is a storm that has a history of producing wall clouds and funnels, and earlier we did have a brief touchdown. The good news is no word of anything touching down at all in the city of Hayes. And looking at the radar image, if you had to pick an area where there may be a notch in this storm at all, it would now be just northeast of Hayes. So that is certainly some good news as this storm cell continues to move off to the north and northeast. Now, with that said, this storm does have a history of producing funnels and may produce a tornado at any time. I'm seeing a report coming out now. That's a delayed report from about 20 minutes ago. It seems there were some pieces of a farmstead that may have been hit when this storm was down to the south and the southwest of Hayes during that brief touchdown. So again, this is why I say this could be one of the most dangerous storm cells that we have out there this evening, because it has that potential to produce a tornado at almost any time. In addition to that, we could certainly see some quarter to golf ball size hail with this thunderstorm as it continues to make its way off to the north and to the northeast. Slide down a little further south, we had a warning here on this storm, which is north of Kinsley and around the Burdett area. That warning has now gone away. You may still wind up seeing some penny-sized and nickel-sized hail with that storm. And again, a lot of the activity in northwestern Kansas has come to an end, although we continue with some warnings here around the Smith Center area and just northwest of Osborne, quarter to perhaps slightly larger size hail, maybe $half size hail with those thunderstorms as they make their way off to the north and to the northeast here this evening. Slide you down further into far southwestern Kansas from around the Greensburg area to Coldwater and back to Ashland. These storms may be producing around quarter size hail as they make their way off to the north and to the northeast here this evening. Again, here's kind of where we are with everything across the state. The good news is we only have a couple of cells out there which are very strong, but we do have one. It's in Ellis County around the Hayes area that has the potential to produce a tornado. So again, a heads up for folks in that area. We have updated the tornado watch. The Weather Service has canceled a few counties in the western part of the state because the threat has now moved more to the east. However, you can see the bulk of the state remains in an active tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight, and there is the possibility that the Weather Service may extend that watch a little further east. If they do so, of course, I'll be sure to let you know. And by the way, it's a good time to remind you, if and when a tornado warning is issued for your area, what do you need to do? Seek shelter inside immediately. With storms in the area like this, you should already be thinking about getting inside before one gets to your area. The safest place to be during any tornado warning is underground, ideally in a basement or a storm cellar if you have one. If you do not have one of those things, where do you go? Maybe you live in a mobile home park. Maybe you live in an apartment complex, perhaps even a dorm or something like that. What do? You want to find the lowest level that you possibly can, and you want to put yourself in a closet or a bathroom. Why? The key thing here is putting many walls between you and that storm as you possibly can, and that's typically in the center of your house where you'll find one of those bathrooms or closets. So know where to go in the event one of those warnings is issued. And by the way, just kind of clean things up for you here. The counties in blue, that would be the active tornado watch. The yellow boxes that you see, those are active severe thunderstorm warnings, and the one red box, that is the active tornado warning for northern Ellis County with that storm which is now just northeast of Hayes. If I have any new information for you, I'll be back to let you know during the commercial breaks. All the programming you'll see tonight is rerun programming, so there may be times where I do step in a little bit on the programming, but we'll try to keep things to the break if possible. And of course, you can watch the ticker at the bottom of the screen. And again, we have live streaming radar coverage going on right now on our website, KSN.com. We'll get you back to KSN programming now after this. Meteorologist J.D. Rudd with you. And again, I do want to apologize for stepping on programming tonight, but this is a rerun night. A lot of the programs that are on have been seen already. We're getting numerous reports now of the newest warning that was issued, the newest tornado warning that was issued. A lot of reports of funnels. This is now the 5th funnel report that I've seen, and now I have a report here from a spotter who is reporting a tornado on the ground. Now, these are unverified, unconfirmed reports, but again, these are spotters who are in the field, and this is coming from the newest tornado warning that we have here with this storm, which is southwest of Great Bend. Let me take you in closer, and first things first, show you what's going on in Ellis and Russell counties. These storms here have been stationary for a while, but now getting their oomph about them and moving more to the north and northeast. This storm crossing over into northwest sections of Russell County. I've heard nothing new on this storm in a while, and that is good news, but we continue with the active tornado warning here for western Russell County. Let me take you down to the south. This is one which may increasingly become a interesting situation, to say the least. This storm, I'm going to glance off and look at some information here. We've got another report now of a funnel. This storm spotter is saying a large, persistent, rotating funnel halfway to the ground happening right now, and this person is in the Rozelle area, which is right around here, and they're looking off to their south, and that matches up just perfectly with the radar picture. So what we may be seeing here is the formation of a tornado which may be on the ground in a moment's notice. Luckily, there are no major townships between Burdett and Larned. The exception would be the Rozelle area. So folks who may be in and around Rozelle, I would encourage you to get yourselves to shelter. I know Rozelle is a smaller community, but still, we have folks who live there, and you need to know what's going on with this potentially dangerous situation setting up here. Again, I'm seeing 2 new reports now, a funnel report, a tornado report, another funnel report coming in, and this is all from the same area. And like I've been saying this evening, we've got spotters all over the state tonight, spotters from out of state, spotters from the network level, spotters from other stations who are out there watching all this action. So the point I'm getting to is we've got a lot of eyes out there giving us a great heads up to what these storms are doing. And now, okay, this storm report says a cone tornado currently ongoing on the ground. This person is about 3 miles south of Rozelle. They're looking 3 miles south of the Rozelle area. So give me just a second here. I want to go ahead and I'm going to back out of the screen, and I want to bring this in a little bit closer and just show you here where this is exactly. So let me go ahead and zoom this picture in and put Rozelle on here so you know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this radar loop. So this is where things are getting a little bit on the interesting side. Here is Rozelle. Spotters who are in this area are looking down to the south. They are seeing a cone tornado on the ground just south of Rozelle. More reports of funnels. Another spotter now is saying that he sees a tornado on the ground at this point in time. So again, it has been confirmed at this point that we have a tornado at least temporarily on the ground south of Rozelle. This storm is heading off to the north and northeast. If you are in the Rozelle area, this would be the time to get to your shelter right now. And we're seeing more reports that there are a lot of eyes watching this tonight as it makes its way across Highway 156. And by the way, in case you're not familiar with where we are, we're in the Edwards and Stafford County areas, or Pawnee County areas, here in parts of southwestern Kansas. Here's Larned just to my behind me here, so you can kind of see where you are. There's Larned, and we are just to the west of that. We are east of Burdett. Here is Rozelle. Here's 183, and there's 156. So we're talking about, say, 3 to 4 miles west of that intersection and a mile or 2 down to the south. That is what we're seeing, the confirmed reports now of a tornado on the ground. There is a new report here, heavily rain-wrapped tornado just south of Rozelle. It looks like a new warning now being issued. This is for Ellis County. So we're going to go back here. I want to stay with this. I want to go back a little bit. I'm seeing this information as it's coming out now from the Weather Service. They have a confirmed report now from Ellis County of a tornado briefly on the ground in Ellis County as this storm is getting set to cross the county line. So again, 2 situations here where we have active storms on the ground, active tornadoes in progress, it seems now. This one crossing from Ellis County into Russell County. So a heads up here, this now has been confirmed. And again, I'm reading all the reports coming in from the spotters who are out there. We're bouncing back and forth from the spotters in these 2 areas. So now we have new confirmation of a brief touchdown right along the Ellis and Russell County line with this storm here. And then to advance you forward and take you down to the south, we have several confirmed reports of a tornado on the ground here in the Rozelle area, just south of 156. And this one, the reports are still coming in. The newest one now says a large, persistent, rotating funnel cloud which has been halfway to the ground, keeps touching and going back up. It keeps going down and coming back up into the sky. So again, anybody who may be in this area, I would say, Larned, at this point in time, it would not be a bad idea to start moving to your tornado shelter. It looks like this storm will be moving between you and Burdett, but these storms they have a history of hooking a little bit more to the east, to the right, so to speak. So I don't want to have anybody in a position they don't need to be in. So if you're in Larned, this would be a good time for you to get to your storm shelter. And again, I'm seeing all this coming in right now. And this is not sounding good from what I don't like the way this is. I'm getting reports from the spotters now who say they do have debris on the ground in the south of the Rozelle area, and that's never good. And I don't want to stand here and scare anybody or upset anybody. That's not at all what I'm here to do. But at the same time, I want you to know this is a very serious situation, and this is one of those deals where this is not just radar indicated anymore. This is on the ground. This is doing damage. This is south of Rozelle. Let me just stop this radar view and give you exactly where this is. I want to go in a little further and put more streets on here. Again, we have a spotter who is seeing this near Rozelle at this point in time. Obviously, you can see there is Rozelle. Given what I'm seeing on radar and the storm spotters, this is your most likelihood of the area of the tornado, which is just, I mean, I'm talking a half mile to a mile south of Rozelle, and it's moving off to about the northeast. I hope the folks who are in this area are in their shelters at this point in time. And again, we have confirmed now there is a tornado on the ground. There is debris being seen by the spotters who are out there. And I'm double checking too what is exactly happening here. And again, I wish I could broadcast this to you, but legally I'm not allowed to. I do see a chaser cam who is in this area, and I can confirm too that what they are seeing. There is a storm on the ground. There is a tornado on the ground here just south and now southeast of the Rozelle area, moving off to about the north and to the northeast. The good news with this storm, let me back this view out here a little bit more. The good news, if there is any good news out of this, is the fact that we are kind of in between major townships. And again, I'm just watching all the reports coming in. We've got numerous eyes on this, and everybody is seeing this right now, all the spotters that we have out there. This storm is cruising off to the northeast. Let's put some extra lead time on that. We'll go around 47 miles an hour. So again, Sanford right there, the intersection of 156 and 183. This storm would be knocking on your door in a moment's notice. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground.
Taking up my entire camera view right now.
My goodness.
So, I mean, that ought to tell you how big it is. It's a large tornado. It's probably, I mean, it could be 500 yards wide. It could be maybe a quarter mile wide by the time we get up to it. So, I mean, this is a very serious situation, Jay.
Yeah, this is a dangerous. Go ahead.
It
Blake.
is. And I know we're watching this live, and we will continue to watch this live. But I do want to put a track on the storm. Rozelle, you are in the path of the storm, even though you're not showing up on the KAKE track. It will be in the Rozelle area, it appears, within the next couple of minutes. Take your shelter right now. In and around Sanford within the next 10 minutes. Now, this track might be slightly off, so take those tornado precautions right now. Sanford, Rozelle, we have a very good tornado signature with this storm as it continues to press northeast and off to the east as well. Jay?
Yeah, this is incredible. Well, sorry, let me get back over to just show you what's going on with the radar. This is, unfortunately, a very impressive radar presentation. Oh, God, that's at least over 100 miles per hour of shear.
Wow.
And, yeah, this is a beast. This is the strongest tornado of the day so far. We'll see how many more we wind up developing like this. We get back over to the reflectivity mode of the radar. And you can see it's completely, I got to admit, the radar signature, it's wrapped up in pretty good. But let's go back over to Bryce's stream. And okay, you're gonna change streams on me here.
Hey, Jay, can you hear me?
Yes, Bryce, you're still live on KAKE.
There we go.
Okay, Jay, it's not quite as wide as it was a little bit ago, but I can actually see the striations within the tornado better. Like it almost looks like it's trying to start roping out, but it actually, if I were a guessing guy, I would say it's probably actually stronger right now than it was just a minute ago.
All right, now Bryce, I'm using Cody R stream right now. He's got a slightly different angle on it, and I can actually, I mean, we can clearly see contact with the ground here, and also debris flying. Do you see it from your vantage point?
You know, it looks like it's starting to lift from my vantage point, Jay. I can start seeing some ground underneath. I think it's off the ground right now. I don't see the dust isn't rotating around the rotating column of air quite as much as it was, but it's still very, very close to the ground.
All right. Well, you keep watching from that vantage point, because the radar circulation on it is still extremely impressive on radar.
And the live picture looks
It's
impressive.
back on the ground, Jay. It was just barely off. It's skipping around a little bit, but it is back on the ground right now.
Yeah, right now this is still.
Let me give you an idea. I am 2 miles south of US 156, looking due west.
Our live picture of the storm down toward Rozelle. It is off the ground right now, but still stay in the
tornado just south of Paradise will be crossing US 281 toward live stream. It just started to dissipate, and you anticipated from your vantage point, obviously, too, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually completely gone. Other than, I mean, there's still a funnel halfway to the ground, but otherwise, you know, this thing is completely roped down at the moment. So it's still rapidly rotating, though. So don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of rotation with this tornado, but the tornado is completely gone at the moment today.
And plus, the velocity presentations on radar. Let me go back over to Viper here for a second. Still there. Right. So
this is something that could redevelop.
This could redevelop. Absolutely. Here. I'm not ready to call this one dead. So Rozelle, stay in your shelters, please. Don't get out of your shelters yet at this time. Mike, have you had a chance to look at Bryce's stream to see if you got a better vantage? Are we still on the best vantage point? Okay, cool. So we're continuing to watch Cody's stream here live on KAKE.
And Jay, just to the north of this, north of Rozelle, we could still have some golf ball sized tail, maybe a little bit larger than that. So we're concentrating on tornado threat, and obviously near Vaughn, to the southwest of Vaughn, near Ash Valley, you could be in for some golf ball sized tail as well with the storm. And we do continue with that tornado warning in and around Ellis as well. Again, we have not forgotten about you, but the best potential for a tornado is going to be in and around Rozelle. Not seeing as good of indications in around the Catherine area with that storm up toward Ellis County.
Yeah, and obviously, and Blake, you know, we talk about the hail threat, and then once we get a tornado, we're going to focus on the tornado threat, but that doesn't mean that the hail threat's going away. Just to kind of step everything up a notch here. But yeah, east of Vaughn, east of Rozelle here. I will have to admit, given the amount of energy available in the atmosphere, we're not seeing indications of it on radar.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not there. Obviously, it is. It just means as far as its significance. I mean, we showed you what the radar indications look like.